Hello guys, welcome to our channel. This is Roll. In today's video we continue with how do I fight classes, this time with Condition Berserker. So I already wanted to make this video a while ago, but I didn't. I guess it's better that I didn't, because the fighting against them changed a bit dramatically after the nerf of Celestial and a change to Druid or Ranger in general, which now we can switch bits for the penalty on this of 25 seconds only instead of 60. So those two changes changed few things, especially the Celestial one. Like, you can ignore the bit thing, it's just a little bit of buff to Druid, but the Celestial change changed a lot of how this build work. So like, it's a nerf. So now it made it much easier. It was one of the most dangerous build, like, not only dangerous because you can survive it, but it was very difficult to kill. And if the player knew really what they're doing, it felt almost impossible to kill. But right now things changed a bit, and we will explain that, and I also will talk about it in footage of the old against Celestial builds against really good players, and the new case of fighting it without the Celestial buff. And why Celestial was very harmful, because Celestial could give condition duration and boon duration with every other stat, which means resistance lasted longer, the stability lasted longer, they have access to might and other boons to bump up their damage and survivability, and also have the condition duration again for the damage, and also having power and frosty and everything. So the build was overall around very difficult to fight against. Now the Condition Berserker in itself is a very good build, in my opinion, one of the best warrior builds. It's very unique, very good, very strong, even PvP. I don't know why people don't give it this much of a chance. This is not the build. I'm not here to share a build, and I don't know the versions people play. I'm talking in general. So I'm only putting skills and traits, that things I want to show in general. This is not a build. However, how it works. The main component of it is actually Mace, because the Primal Burst for Mace work very well with Relic of Akeem. So this is one of the strongest bursts. The damage in general for Condition Berserker come from Primal Burst. Even if the weapon can do a lot and cover condition you and add to it, it's only when they really land in the burst. Like, think of Druid when you land Celestial Avatar hits combined with something from your utility, like Sharpened Stone or something like that. Even so, the short bow do a lot, it's not the main thing that's going to kill you. So for Condition Berserker, this is the main thing in how to work. If you look to Relic of Akeem, when you disable like hard CC enemy with daze, with stun, whatever, that already have 5 stacks or more of Torment or Confusion, you will inflict 5 stacks of Confusion and 2 stacks of Torment on everything around this target and him. 5 targets and blast radius of 240. The thing is, the Mace Primal hit already do a daze and do Confusion. So the normal hit doesn't do real damage, it do some stun, and no one cares about. And even the weapon itself is all about bar damage, even so it's mainly used for condition, which is very funny in warrior. But when you go to Primal Burst, blind, bleed, 5 stacks of Confusion, cripple, it will give you swiftness, that's a trait, who cares, and 1 second of daze. So if you land it, as you can see, I also landed the Relic of Akeem. In a single hit you land everything, you trigger the daze and it will trigger the rest even with the Relic of Akeem. 10 stacks of Confusion with a lot of cover condition, so even if you try to cleanse it, most likely you will not cleanse the Confusion with the first cleanse, unless it's something that cleanse like all condition or 6 or 5, like it's huge cleanse. But if you cleanse 1 or 2 or whatever, it will not cleanse the Confusion. And if it's castable, that means it will do more damage, because that's how Confusion work. If you're using skill, if you're casting anything, it will do more damage, much more damage, which make it very difficult to deal with. Now, if you switch to other weapon, let's say it's a sword, inside the Primal Burst, it will do projectile of significantly high burning. The same thing with a lot of burning inside Longbow. And that's how it look. And this skill is very special, because it's projectile that will keep tracking the enemy. Even if you give them your back, like, it doesn't matter, it will just keep going to them and it will destroy projectile. So it's both defensive and offensive. It's just really good. Now add to that other very effective weapons like Torch, like the sword itself with high damage, even bleed on the auto attack. This is the main condition weapon for melee, for most warrior. A lot of people like to use it. However, the mace is very strong, so people also love to use it. So people will most of the time go for mace sword if they want the sword. But sometimes people can do whatever they want. They can run the sword and a longbow. And burning is the highest damaging condition when it just plain damage. Like you don't have conditions or rules. You don't have to be standing to do more damage in Torment. You don't have to be casting skill to do more damage on Confusion. This thing will just do too high and do significantly high damage. So again, it can kill you fast. Now we will talk about this problem when we get to a droid, but now let's talk about the survival side of it. So this skill is block. This skill is block. If you run shield, it's block. This one give you Aegis. That's beside the sword primal burst that actually destroy projectile. But anything block attacks, most warrior would run this trait, which means it will reflect projectiles. So instead of a skill that will block like a single attack and give adrenaline or whatever, now this entire duration will keep reflecting projectile back to its source. So a lot of gap closers, as you can see, a lot of cripple, immobilize, and things that really can lock people down, and even a little bit attack from range. As you can see, this thing from 900 range, and it will balls damage, torment, and cripple. So even if you remove it with a condition cleanse, it will happen again for the entire duration of 4 seconds. Initial cast and then 4 seconds, so you can think of it like 5 seconds. So it's very good, but those blocks will reflect projectile. So if he deal with a range build, like using short bow as a druid, he will reflect projectile back to you, even with a simple stack of Aegis. And if he deals many, he has the upper hand. He can have stability, resistance, and he can CC you and burst you with significantly stronger hits. And even when you try to kite, he can follow up with a little bit of range hits or gap closer. Obviously, the weakness in this block system is that a single melee attack will force a skill to activate, so ending this cycle, or interrupt it completely if it's a CC. Again, the Aegis is the same. A single attack will remove it, like the auto attack for the staff on Ranger, the beam from Greatsword on Mesmer. And now we have too many tools in Ranger across the years, like Entangle will go through the block. Sigil of Generosity will go through that, also will break it. Celestial Avatar, the Signet, if you use it, like there's so many things you can do, but it will interrupt your flow. So if you simply, because the enemy have blocked the single attack, you switch to use this skill instead of this, like you enter Celestial Avatar instead of your own short bow, then you ruin your chain of CC combos, and it doesn't really work this way. Why not wait just the 2 seconds? So you give the breathing room and you allow the warrior to keep on using it. There is counter to this we'll talk in when we get to the druid, but for now, there is in the traits themselves, power if you want, condition if you want, and survivability, interrupting damage, getting heal from your hits, a lot of things. Even this heal skill, some warrior would use it to cast or absorb all the damage to themselves. It heals them, and then once it's finished, they will cleanse with other skills, and now they go on you or simply start kiting you while you wasted your own cooldown. So you have all the tools you want for warrior. Toughness, vitality, cleanse, mobility, everything that work very well. So how do we deal with this for druid, and what are the weaknesses that we went through? Let's explain everything in detail. So we are back with the druid. This is my main build. I will have the build, the full playlist in the description. Check the cards also. I have guides for how the burst work, how do I survive, the build in details. Like everything you're gonna find there, so check it if you need it. Now this is my main build. If you notice, all my condition cleanse are generally, they need a cast time. Remember we said the major damage come from Berserker is from the confusion with cover condition, so you will not cleanse it with a single cleanse most of the time. While you cast a skill to cleanse it, that means it will do the higher damage, while it and the other condition already taken while this cast happened. The same thing goes for the burning. It will be doing this ticks while you're already finishing your cast to cleanse, which means those bursts are really punishing with this idea. The only way to cleanse without casting is either by bit swipe, because of the trait empathic bond will cleanse to condition on bit swipe, or the weapon swipe, because on staff I run cleansing sigil. So if you switch from short bow to staff or from Celestial Avatar to staff, if the cooldown is there, you will cleanse 3 condition because of the sigil. However, the skills, if you use the healing trap, for example, you will cast the trap. If it's not activated, then it won't cleanse anything. If it's activated, it will start cleansing a condition each second. But the lesser muddy terrain, this brown thing you saw, this skill will cleanse too because it's a survival skill and we use wilderness knowledge. But this cast of casting the trap and lesser muddy terrain happen after it will take around 2 seconds. That's 2 ticks of the high damage, or at least of confusion, or 2 ticks of burning if you have the burning or the other condition in general. The same thing goes for lightning reflex. It cleanses at the end of the cast, not at the start. Lightning entangle, stuff like that. Only like this thing if inside Celestial Avatar, and even Celestial Avatar require entering, and that's count as a cast. So it will trigger the confusion and it will take time, and then you cast this, and this whole process took time. So that is the first problem. How do we deal with it? Is by securing ourselves with access to condition cleanse that's ready for us or already happening. So let's say you have your weapon ready to simply swipe and start carting. You have your bet ready to simply swipe and start carting. You also can interrupt them or something. Your health is high enough so it can take the damage and you can start healing. You always need to pay attention to this. You don't allow yourself to fall short on health. And another thing, for example, when you try to go completely burst, like you enter the Avatar and you're casting this natural conversion, you do it inside your trap. Or you're ready to leave and move to staff. You're already securing yourself with hunker down, for example. You're letting your enemy use other tools. And you're ready also to cast the cleanse inside Celestial Avatar from skill 3 and 2 combo. So this idea of having a condition cleanse that either ready or already working, like the trap under your feet, will save you significantly. Now, a second, or goes without saying, method is also try to avoid the burst by simply dodging. You don't need to dodge everything warrior does, because you can deal with other if you avoid the mace burst. The mace is the most important to avoid, and then the other weapon if possible, or simply kite through it. It takes time to build up the burst, like from the sword or from the longbow. So you also have the cleanse ready, but likely if you can avoid it completely, it's great. So interrupt it with a daze, dodge it, create distance is great. And that takes me to the point of distance. Always I say this about Druid, distance is your friend unless you're the one who is bursting. We can do a lot from range and then we can lock the enemy with multiple dazes and multiple immobilize. So don't be in melee simply because the enemy forces you to be in melee. Be there because you're doing something. You're securing yourself inside your trap and using your turtle. You're bursting with your own Celestial Avatar and then start creating a distance. So distance, then we say dodge the mace or interrupt it or avoid it, completely negate it if it's possible. And the other burst too, but the mace is the most important. And be always ready. You have either stun break ready and also have the condition cleanse either ready or happening. Now let's talk also about their survivability. They have a lot of refract, as we explained, and a lot of blocks. So how do you deal with this defensive method? The best way is Glyph of Equality and Celestial Avatar. Staff can be good into breaking through it if it's already there, or you can also use Entangle simply to lock them while they're blocking. They can't cast any other things, they can't dodge. So it's a really good time to land something like the Entangle or even the Signet under them, because a single hit will trigger the block or remove it, and the second hit immediately will immobilize them. So it's a good time to cast something freely when they do that. Even cast your own heal with this distance, because they will not immediately go to another skill and trap you. They put their block up, then you can heal yourself, something like that. So try to use that to your advantage. Another thing, always pay attention to their stability and resistance. Don't CC inside the stability, and you know your immobilize will not really walk in resistance, so try to create situation when it actually lands. So let's say it's trying to burst you, you're inside your trap and you already landed the immobilize of the Signet or something, and you're using Signet Celestial Avatar to burst them. So they're hitting you here. So the resistance doesn't matter because the immobilize is building up on them, and once the resistance ends, they are immobilized. So this is a method when it can actually work, and it can still actually land your bleed from Blood Moon trait. This one, when you land an immobilize, you will land bleeding. So just figure out a way in the fight like this. Now we will watch fights while the Celestial against very good Berserker, condition Berserker player, and then we will move to easier fights like right now after the Celestial nerf that happen very soon. So this Berserker engaging me while already on Kata. I couldn't leave the Kata before he landed all his damage. And as you can see, I didn't cleanse the confusion. So my health went to like 40% of what it was in like the start of the fight. So I cleanse everything and I heal, already eat the damage from his sigil and sword, and my health is half again. I have to switch to my staff. All that while I almost didn't do anything to him yet. But now we're catching up and we're gonna get to our own bursting mode. And if you notice, because of stability, because of Celestial, he have boons, and other boons, he trigger quickness, he trigger stability, and once the stability is gone, he have resistance. Now he's blocking, and he will have stability again very soon. Like it's a cycle. It just keep on happening. He switch from a skill to another, and the boon duration from Celestial would give him a longer duration than should. So again, resistance. Warrior is strong already when it comes to resistance and stability, and the Celestial made it much better in a way. So that's taking time. He's either blocking or damaging or giving me confusion, and when I lock him in immobilize, it kinda doesn't work. He walk out because he have stability, or because of the trait any movement skill will break his immobilize. He simply move with a skill, he breaks immobilize. And if you break the immobilize of a droid, you also don't take the damage, so it's like a double defense. Every time I trigger immobilize on you, you get blood moon effect triggered. But if you completely can walk out of my entangle, or can walk out of my signet, you don't eat the damage to begin with. That's why it might be a little bit harder to fight warriors with signet. But the trick to do that is to burst them or CC them while they're immobilized. So you want to trigger this movement skill, you want to trigger this cleansing skill, because I daze you, I stun you while you're inside the immobilized, so the immobilized keep on building. While immobilized alone will not work against warrior in general if they're running such defenses. Now this fight keep going long and forth, back and forth, something like that, which get me to another point. How did I end this fight, or how do you generally end fight against warrior? If you can mess up their ability to switch between defense and offense like that, it will work great in your advantage. We as druids especially have multiple ways to heal. Like the healing skill, it's not the healing solutions that you have to sustain yourself. I have staff, I have Sister Avatar, I have dodges and protection, a lot of things that can build up a little bit slowly. If you ruin the warrior chain by interrupting their health or playing around it, they can't survive. So the idea here will be done perfectly. So I will start bursting right after he heals. So I have a window until that cooldown come back. He doesn't have it, he already healed. So if you can finish him inside this period, he can't heal again. Like let's say it's 20 seconds, so if you can kill him in 15 seconds, he can't heal again. So I'm not only gonna start bursting after as much as I can after he already healed. Like here, immediately I went for a stun, I trying to go for a CC after another, or at least pull more cooldown out of him. Before he can heal again the other heal, I will interrupt it. So nothing will work, he won't heal, he can't build up his health again, and the fight will end here. I dodge that damage, cleansing, immobilize under him, immobilize with entangle, start casting the full burst chain, covering with other condition from Sister Avatar, go short bow, and CC him again to interrupt any skill he casts. Like I don't know when he's gonna cast skill, I don't count the cooldown, but I want to make sure as much as I can that there is not much of a window while I have my burst. So now he started to kite, I went for the next CC immediately, and as you can see the blue light on his character, I interrupted his healing. Daze from short bow, daze from my glyph, immobilize, and the Celestial Avatar was there, I could have dazed again, and he was done. So I salute for the good fight there, obviously. Here I was fighting this guy on Untamed, and honestly on Untamed I couldn't do anything. I was on survival mode all the time. I have a lot of cleanse, I have good survivability, but that's what I'm doing. Most of my damage doesn't do anything to him. He can kill my bit, which is a problem we talked about. If your bit is dead, you take in a minute, and honestly Untamed is the most punishable ranger by bit death, because they don't only lose the bit, they lose the unleash ambush skill, the unleash bit skill too. So the projectile defense, the blinds, corruption, everything. And I don't have much CC here also to control him, so he can cast his resistance, stability freely, he can ignore everything I do because I have very low CC access. And since I can't immobilize him, the turtle CC is almost pointless. It almost never land. I can't lock him down like a druid can. So the fight goes for a very long time, and I keep kiting until I actually switch to druid to see the difference between Untamed and druid, I guess. So we will fast forward to fighting with the druid. So here I switch to druid and we re-engage. I'm gonna work the same, trying to find the opening, trying to avoid his own damage. Always secure yourself with other condition cleanse, like I have something else. Even build up with the heal. I couldn't dodge his bursts here, and he even tried to interrupt my healing. Very, very good, well played. But I cast it with a good distance. I cast it immediately, so I was actually able to cast my heal. I try to burst here. I have the Celestia avatar, so I can secure myself well. So I try to lock him down. I fail to land the entangle. He jumped again on me with torch ready, so now I need to create distance. He's the one who's bursting. I kind of have nothing. Finally, my trap is up, so I try to lock him down and as much as I can and burst with this. I fail to avoid the mace again. He masked it very well, this guy actually. Like I didn't see the switch coming, but I cleansed it immediately, and that's why we say you have your trap, you have your Celestia avatar, you have your staff, or any multiple sources of healing. So even when the damage land, you can simply cleanse it and continue. My trap is back again, so now I'm trying to do my burst again. He killed my bit, so again was the punishing. I switch bit to secure myself, catch him with immobilize, create more distance. Watch for it, watch for the edges to end. I see opportunity when he jump, so I immediately interrupt him. I will switch to staff, create more distance, secure myself, try to immobilize him. Ball my bit to me, so I keep him as healed as much as possible if I can. This is a way also to help with the bit being more alive. So you can cleanse him with you can heal him with you. We traded a bunch hard, so I ended up eating the burn. Now I'm in a problem. I wanted to burst and I thought I secured myself enough, so he bursted higher than he should. But as you can see, I immediately dodge, switch my camera back, and when he tried to CC again, I interrupt him. So the burst never happened, and I can heal more. He almost filled my health now. He kite to me again, I interrupt the burst again, so it didn't land. I catch him with entangle, and now I'm bursting him. I blinded the burst this time. I catch him with another daze and another stun right back to back. His health is very low. I think he did not expect that it will go this way at this point when he was locking me after this burn. I used lightning reflex, so he won't give himself breathing room with CCing me. I catch him near the ledge with burst. He didn't go up, he didn't go down, so it became easier since he's on melee weapons. Now I actually have the higher distance. I had the higher ground, so it's over. I tried to salute him here, but I wrote it wrong, so he missed it. If I ever stand next to your character, I'm never gonna be salty on you. I'm simply probably trying to salute you for your skill. Now this is a modern fight. No celestial power with boons and stuff. So I go for the daze immediately. I try to avoid his burst. Ball him with Iboga. Avoid the burning, heal what I got from it, and immediately I try to avoid it. Keep my distance, and he doesn't have stability, so I CC him. Didn't trigger my trap, so I stand now away from the trap. When he do enough damage, I go in. So now the trap will have lower cooldown. I have a video dedicated to explain how the trap work. I will leave it on the card in the description, so check it out too if you want how to use it in the best value. But with the stuns of them, not much stability, not much anything. I'm timing my things well. I daze him or applying conditions through Blood Moon multiple times. He couldn't manage the distance very well. Now in this second fight, I'm not sure if he's the same guy. Maybe he is, but this time he's on longbow actually. So I'm keeping my distance, seeing what he's gonna do, and then I see the longbow here, and he goes a burst. I simply go get out of it, cleanse with the Celestia avatar, create distance. I'm just being careful and comfortable. All my cooldowns almost there, and I'm using Sharpen Stone. As you see, we said that the signet can be a bit more difficult. I interrupt the miss. I see it coming. I get out of the longbow. I did not trigger my trap, the same method. And now I'm waiting time. He uses his sword, and now I have enough condition, so I get in. I secure myself with the turtle, especially if he switched to the longbow, but he's not. I go again with the entering CC avatar on his burst, and he just couldn't cleanse all that. So Sharpened Stone also can be a bit advantageous sometimes because the damage is too high, and they can't simply avoid it as easily as the Signet when they can walk off. This time I'm fighting him with a Signet. So this fight is a bit long. I'm trading bunches here. I don't really care. I have the trap and I still have the staff and the water behind me. So I'm taking my time. And I want this camp, so I'm fighting for it too. I wanted to finish the cleave of the guards to help expedite this or make it move faster. I want to kill the guard too. I'm not just attacking him. I want to kill them. So immobilize. I'm now behind him. I dodge. I see this mace and I dodge the attack immediately. After he finishes the block, I immediately interrupt the burst of the second weapon. I go with another immobilize. I don't have much things to do now, so I break distance. I keep my distance away, and it's okay. I can start hitting the other mobs and stuff. He go for my bit. Even so, that's not really, there's no serious point of doing that. I go for the Signet. I see him coming. I interrupt him on it, so he now eats the immobilize. I try to burst him. I see this burst coming, but I'm securing myself with the CC avatar. My health is full. I don't need to avoid it. And now I have the trap, so I continue my burst if possible. I interrupt his block with the daze. I interrupt him again with entering CC avatar, triggering the sigil, and now I'm cleaving while getting the protection of my own bit. He removes the blind immediately. I fail to catch him with the elite. Once he stunned me, I immediately move back. I'm not sure if he's gonna use a burst skill, so it was better or easier this way. Sometimes you could let it happen first if you have the secure condition, but I just used it and I feel safe already. You have my staff and my trap. So let's look at what happened again. How do I get him this low? And technically the fight was over at this point. So if you see here, I already dodged with lightning reflex. Like we look at that again. I create distance even with a short bow. I goes interrupt. I use the Signet under him, but he did not cleanse the immobilize. So now I know he doesn't have much ways out. So I immediately go for chain combo, as I already explained in my video for how do I CC and stuff. And the damage was too much. He can't heal back up. He can't cleanse all that. So I'm grinding whatever left. Even when he cleansed, the survivability will not be enough. I can go with another hit after another hit and the fight will be over. Ask anything if you want in the comments. I hope this video was helpful and now you know how to deal with condition Berserker. That's it for the video and I'll be seeing you next time. Peace.